Recently, a friend of mine, while I was in Italy for a jiu-jitsu tournament, recommended me a game called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. What an original name, I thought. I had never heard of the game, nor did he show me any visuals of it, but when he mentioned it, he just let me hear a track from the OST. I think he played Lumiere, and as the beautiful music was playing in the background, I was like, damn, this shit slaps. He was explaining to me that it was actually a turn-based combat game. Immediately, I thought, oh, I hate turn-based combat, and then he interrupted me and explained how there's actually parrying and dodging in the game and how the combat really worked and how fun it was. When I got home, I watched the trailer for it. Instantly, I bought it because no introduction to a story had gripped me this hard since Nier Automata came out in 2017. Let alone that, I've never been gripped so hard by a trailer where the trailer is what convinced me to buy the game. Disclaimer, I am gonna spoil the story, so if you haven't played the game yet, do yourself a favor and play it. Trust me, it is worth it. Luna's epic speeches, Gustav's death, the gestural memes, the music, and every single time Ciel was zoomed in on, like, bruh. Can you tell Ciel is my favorite character? Also, I love her nonchalant attitude towards everything that was going on. And Verso, my tragic immortal. Good trope, very good trope. There isn't a single time that the tragic immortal trope has been done where it wasn't done well. At least out of the media that I know. Always done well. And this game is no exception. This game's story is so goddamn good. Just trust me and play it, okay? I'm not a reviewer, nor am I particular about the lore. I just watched videos of other people explaining the entirety of it when I beat the game the second time to actually understand it fully, because it's a little hard to understand fully. Unless you really read everything, collect everything, and make sure you pay attention to every single detail, it's a little hard to understand on your first run, so I just watched the video. Now, the reason why I had to beat the game the second time is because I wanted to get both endings without save loading, so I did my second run on New Game +1, and I did not fight Simon or any of the super bosses on, like, my base game, so I had to fight them all on New Game +1. F you, Simon. Mega hard boss. I just made it harder for myself because of New Game. The Game of the Year minute with Renoir turning into the curator and the rose field spawning with all the broken frames and paint and light and the song. Oh, it's so peak! So peak, in fact, that I did 2 paintings just on that final moment, the Game of the Year minute. Maëlle in offensive stance and Maëlle when she interrupts Renoir as he baits us into thinking he's gonna go into a third phase. And then she goes, not this time! And then the music perfectly fades into that section with the acapella where there's no, like, the instrumental leaves and there's just the audio and it just goes, there's a fucking goosebumps, man. The levels of meta here were so good. And on my second playthrough, I could really tell how much they actually foreshadowed the story and how self-aware it was in the beginning. And then when you discover the twist at the end of Act 2, where the whole story is a story within a story. Oh, it's so peak, man. This is a game about letting go, but god damn do they make it hard to do so. They really are trying to get you to cry before you let go. I then also made this portrait of Ciel, my waifu from the game, and of course, Lune in Verso's ending, giving him the eyes of disappointment and betrayal. What a fire game, man. Maëlle in offensive stance. I'm a big fan of taking my own reference pictures and tracing over the poses, then adapting the proportions to the character and respectively adding the clothing. Reason why is because this doesn't require learning anatomy and you still get good anatomy. This is what I did for my zombie apocalypse video to make all the drawings as anatomically correct in the fastest way possible, right? That's the technique I adopted. I did that, then painted it as usual, nothing too particular here. Maybe just that painting frills is so bloody complicated. Like, clothing with trinkets is significantly easier to render than complicated frill cuts on the cloth because, like, holy moly, I gotta get better at that. I generally believe that if the cut is simple and then has a lot of embroidery or designs on it, that's a lot simpler to paint than when the cut itself is complicated. Like frills, because they fold on top of each other. Really hard to do. Then fancy effects, lighting, roses, blurs, chromatic aberration, and the rest is done. Not this time. This one I was originally gonna do with Maëlle a lot closer in shot, showing the framing of her actually close up, having just stabbed Renoir as the curator, but I wanted to move on to the other characters faster, so instead I just opted to do it from further away and go for more of a graphical effects, conceptual art piece than a detailed illustration. That's what I did with the art piece, and that's how I managed to spend way less time on this one. You can tell the speed paint for this one is also significantly shorter. For this painting in particular, I literally just grabbed the screenshot from the game that I took as reference and then painted over it to really give it that straight out of the gameplay feel, but also to save time on more conceptual painting than, like I said, something illustrative. That was not the goal. Ciel. Portrait practice. I copied from the reference that I had, then adapted features to resemble Ciel. And for this one, I tried my hand at grayscale to color, which I'm quite happy with how it turned out. This process is quite complicated to me. I've tried it before, but I never really committed to it, and this is the first time I've committed to it and finished a painting where I've done this process. And yeah, I'm very happy with how it came out. I know it's not the best thing, but if you have any tips on it, then feel free to go ahead and give them. I really want to learn how to do this because it makes you focus more on values, and then you focus more on your fundamentals instead of making the turd sparkly with glitter. You know what I mean? Instead, I just want to make sure that the art piece, instead of being a turd, is a gold bar. And then how sparkly it is doesn't change the fact that it's a gold bar. I hope that analogy made sense. Like, better to have a fundamentally sound piece than have a fundamentally broken piece with just fancy post-processing, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Ciel is best girl. I had to do a painting of her. Lune, victim of betrayal. Same thing here with the grayscale to color method, but I did struggle to get the face right at first, so I had to redo it a couple of times. And then right before I finished the values, I liquefied the face once again till I was satisfied, then selected with the lasso tool, feathered the selection, used the curves tool to adjust and get the colors that I wanted, and then painted over that to fix it up. Then did the fancy post-processing stuff that I mentioned, chromatic aberration, particles, and we are done. Thank you guys very much for watching. I know that it wasn't a particularly informative video, but I really wanted an excuse to talk about the game of the year. As a side note, I'm going to a convention in Saarbrücken in September called HeroCon. I'll put it on screen. And I'm manifesting some fire Expedition 33 cosplayers. Please! Please, Ciel, Lune, Verso, honestly anyone, just Expedition 33 cosplayers, man, I want to see them. Yeah, either way, if you want some tutorials, let me know and I'll do the tutorials. Subscribe for more art and more storytime videos. If you have any tutorial requests, like I just said, leave them in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.